All right, Unlock the Voice family. Hope you all have been absolutely amazing. So we are going to continue with some more of our Unlock the Voice 2.0 training here. So today we are doing something that is very unique and very timely to the situation. And we're going to be covering the basics of vocal health and really how to make sure that you keep your voice healthy, because right now I'm actually recovering from being sick, and what better thing to teach y'all than how to sing sick when I myself actively right now am still a little sick and got some mucus plaguing my body. So so you can hear the coughs already. So let's get into it here today. Yep, because we all definitely know that you need quite a bit for your voice and for your body when we are singing sick. So to get into today's training here is going to be all about vocal health best practices, because we need to make sure that we are not just only singing and building up our voice, but to make sure that we are also protecting our voice and doing everything we possibly can to keep it healthy. And at the moments and times where things get the best of us, like sicknesses, other different things like that, to make sure that we do the right recovery methods to really make sure that we can perform the right and proper ways that we need to. Okay, so I want to be very clear. When it comes to proper vocal health, prevention is the absolute best medicine. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. You will be far, far better off putting yourself in positions where your voice doesn't strain, doesn't break out on you, and also where you don't get sick to begin with, than getting sick and feeling bad and your voice acting horrible to you. Now, I will say, praise God, I haven't lost my voice due to improper use, but I got sick, which makes my voice much harder to access, just due to improper taking care of my body this last week. Because what ended up happening was I was on a little speaking boot camp that I went to the past week to help with just like my overall speaking and presentation skills, and the coach that runs it, he's very, very, very well known for having extremely late sessions. So it was literally I'm not kidding, 10 days of the conference would start at 2 p.m. in the afternoon and sometimes go as late to 3, 4, 5, sometimes even 6 in the morning. And I'm telling you this story to emphasize that I made the very, very bad decision to run my body into the ground with not getting sleep, not getting enough water, not enough nutrition tubes. Like you're traveling, you don't always necessarily eat the best, and all those other things. They kind of created the perfect storm where I got a little sick and my voice was not in the best proper condition that it should have been. So this is making sense to everybody so far?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So on the ounce of prevention, which I should have done this past week that I was at this little boot camp here, is you want to think of preventing damage in your voice kind of like pacing yourself. Similar to how in NASCAR, these cars will literally do hundreds and hundreds of laps in a NASCAR race. But what they do is they pace themselves by doing periodic pit stops where they tune up the vehicle, they change the tires, they make sure the oil's fine, they do all these various different things to make sure that car is tuned up so that it can go lap after lap after lap after lap after lap and be totally and completely fine. And there's certain things that we need to do as singers to be pacing out our voices so that we can go song after song, gig after gig, performance after performance, and make sure that we are just completely and totally fine with our voices. So the core things that are really going to help you with preventing any potential vocal damage is at the very, very first sign that you see certain things going on with your voice. What you want to do is you want to do ang sounds, vuv sounds, hang sounds, and hums as soft as you possibly can. So I'm going to demonstrate here a little bit for you guys. So the first is, because we've talked about the ang, vuv, and hang for building resonance. And, we've also mentioned in prior classes that resonance, it's what heals and restores the voice. If we apply that same technique at extremely soft pitches, it's even more restorative and more therapeutic whenever you're starting to feel those first signs of damage. So I'm talking like you feel fine and you sing one little note in a song and you notice, okay, after that song, I'm feeling a little tired here. Just even a little bit, even if it's 1%, do a quick ang, vuv, and hang on a super soft pitch. So it'll look like this. For example, we'll go ang. And also, I cannot emphasize it enough, the volume at which I'm doing it right now here on the class, it's even lower than that. If I did it truly as soft as it should be, my microphone wouldn't even be able to pick it up. It's impossible to do this too softly. You want it to be as soft as you possibly can, just holding out that nice, plain and simple little ang sound where you're going. Okay, who wants to demonstrate and give it a try real quick here, along with me?
I will.
Okay, all right, let's have you give it a try, Anita. So give me the ang sound, like you're almost saying angry, but do it as soft as you possibly can.
Okay.
Oh, I can barely hear you, Anita.
Oh, okay.
I can barely hear you. That was a trick question. That's actually the point. I'm saying that, like, the fact that I can barely hear you doing it is a sign that you're doing it right. Like, it should be so soft.
Yeah.
Yeah, it should be so soft that, like, you can't even, because, for example, if I go like, it's like, can you guys hear that?
Barely.
Yeah, just barely. And to be honest, even that was too loud. Mm-hmm. Like, the quieter, the better. And you just holding it out on all those various different notes. Okay? So, now we'll do the same thing, too, here with the vuv sound. So that V, like Victor. So we're going... And just like everything in the program, you always do it where you hold it till you're totally out of air. Okay? The other thing with this, with all these, what you're also going to work to do is you're going to work to identify, if let's say I was singing a song and the note was more like a see, and I'm even messing it up right now because I have all the mucus covering me. If let's say I was singing a note in a song and I noticed that, oh, this note for just not even the whole song, even like a brief 30 seconds in the song was off, I'm going to go a little hum on that note, or I could do an ang, or I'll do a vuv on the note, or even a hang on the note. Hang. Any of those variations of the ang, the vuv, the hang, all throughout that particular note in that particular area of the song that I'm noticing that I felt a little bit of that struggle with. The other thing, in terms of really pacing yourself out throughout your performance and your practicing, is even literally like mid-performance, if you feel a little trickle of something in your throat, you can pull the microphone away from you when you even have, I'm not even joking, a 5-second long instrumental pause. Pull the mic away from you and do a quick little like ang, vuv, hang, or a hum, holding out the note. Other thing you can do as well too is you can even do it to like the melody of that particular section of the song. So if it's, let's say it's I always like using the national anthem as an example. So if like I'm like, and the rock is regular, brief second of pause, and I go, and obviously I'm doing it at a louder volume so you guys can hear it. But we're doing it softly. Okay? So, Phil, how about we have you demo this real quick here for us? Can you still hear me, Phil?
My bad. Nah, somebody was talking to me. Say that one more time for me, boss.
Yeah. So are you in a good spot where you can demo something with us real quick here?
Oh yeah, let's do it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and can you turn the camera on? Okay, good. So what I want you to do is, so I want you to like literally sing the Rockets Red Glare section in the national anthem, and I'll let you pick. You can do an ang sound, a vuv, or a hang, or a hum. I want you to like pretend you have the microphone in front of you to represent you singing. Go like, and the Rockets Red Glare, and then pull the mic away to pretend that quick little like 2 second pause, and I want you to very rapidly just hum out the next section of the song on a very soft ang, vuv, hang, or a hum. Okay, so it would look like this. So you go, and the Rockets red glare. Okay, so give that a try.
Okay. All right, so sing it first and then do the.
Yeah, and then pretend you're pulling the mic from you, and you're gonna spend literally a split 2-3 seconds just very softly humming the melody on whatever ang, vuv, hang, or hum anchor you want to do it on.
Yes, sir. Okay. And the Rockets red glare.
Okay, now pretend we're pulling the mic away mid-performance, and we felt a little tension in our voice as we sang that hypothetically. And then now give me your soft, do that quick little part of the melody on the ang, vuv, hang, or hum. Okay, that was good, but you made one mistake. Who wants to guess what the mistake was? It looks like you're on mute, Anita.
He didn't keep going until he was out of breath.
For this in this particular type of moment, when you're literally doing it mid song, you don't need to do that necessarily. Okay. But the mistake was I was able to hear him.
Oh.
And obviously this is, it's I'm half joking but also half serious. It needs to be so soft that you can barely hear it yourself. And also if you're doing it mid performance, of course, like you don't want the mic to pick that up. But obviously that's why I say you pull the mic from you, do the and then you come back literally 2 seconds later, the bombs bursting in air. Exactly as you're trying to flow through things. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, awesome. All right, so to continue more of our vocal health training here. So, like I said, want to make sure it's nice and soft, literally almost like at a whisper. You cannot go too soft with this exercise. Other thing too, in terms of preventative care for your voice to make sure that we don't get into damage to begin with, is drinking plenty of water. Lots and lots and lots of water. Because the biggest thing is when someone loses their voice, and this might sound a little bit arrogant to say, but I truly feel when you're getting sick, it's a little bit of a different story. But if you're feeling totally fine everywhere else in your body, but you lose your voice, brutal honesty, it's because you either just haven't had training or you have training and you're just being a lazy singer by not practicing the basics. And you getting, like I said, the soft humming to pace yourself out like NASCAR, and you getting water, kind of like you putting the gas in the engine or also filling your engine with oil, because those are essential parts of a car. You need to have plenty of water. And the thing is, it's preferably you want it room temperature to as warm of water as possible, which I know it's a little gross to be drinking room temperature water, but the closer to room temperature to warm it is, the more it's going to lubricate the voice so that things can come out smoothly, because the voice is a very slimy, mucusy structure that you have inside your throat, and the less water you have, the more dry it is, and the thicker those layers of mucus are going to be, and the more it's going to get in the way of your singing. If you have been absolutely loving this training, be sure to click the link in the description below and check out my free bonus training that goes even deeper on all of these concepts that we've covered here today. Plus, also too shows you how to leverage them and use them to avoid the 3 biggest singing mistakes that get in the way of so many different singers' dreams. This training has helped out so many of my students to eliminate breaks, cracks, strain, and tension, stop the inconsistencies in their voice, and ultimately get them to the point to where they truly feel like they finally control their voices instead of their voices controlling them. So once again, click the link in the description below or scan the QR code above to check out that amazing training. Other thing, you want to drink so much water that you got to do the pee-pee dance every 30 minutes. Like I promise you, if you drink so much water that you go pee-pee every 30 minutes, like that alone, you will more than likely never, ever lose your voice. And now if you combine that with pacing yourself out mid-performance, doing the soft hums, angs, vubs, and hangs, all those other different things, I guarantee you will never, ever lose your voice again. Another thing that really helps in the preventative care area is making sure that you're drinking lots of warm, non-caffeinated beverages in addition to water. So teas, water with lemon and honey, or teas with some lemon, a little bit of honey in there as well. That is also too going to really help to kind of restore this area, because the thing is, we want this area to be as warm and as humid as we absolutely possibly can make it, so that the things can flow very smoothly. Because it's also kind of similar to I'm not much of a car guy, but I recently bought a new car, and my buddy, who he knows a lot about cars, but he does kind of read into things a little bit too closely. He looked at my car and he was like trying to change the oil because it needed an oil change. And he's like, yeah, man, I think you might have like some issues with like the oil in your car, and they might have sold you like an absolute lemon vehicle. And I was super stressed out, super worried, thinking, man, I just spent all this money on a car and now it's a total dud. And, me being a dummy, I was like asking him, well, hey, why is that with a car? Well, the thing is, when you don't have proper oil and it looks like the person didn't change their oil the way they needed to, it makes all of the gears in the engine be grinding up against each other, and you start to have metal flakes, and it just damages this perfect engine. And you need to think of the voice the same, to where when it's not in a lubricated condition, because oil in a car, it lubricates it. When your voice is in a lubricated condition, the gears are grinding up against each other, and it's chafing and damaging the muscle, and it's making it so much harder to operate. And praise God, my buddy, he just misread a few things, because he knows a lot about cars. He's not a mechanic, but he misread a few things. I didn't have to do with my oil. When we had an actual mechanic look at it, he said it was totally fine. And because I was stressing like crazy, thinking, man, my car I just bought is now a lemon. But praise God, it was not. So other thing that is going to help you on the preventative side of really making sure that your voice is in a good tip-top shape is just having a balanced overall diet and good general overall health. Now, I'm not a doctor. I'm not going to give you a step-by-step, this is exactly what to eat. But I will say my personal bias is, and my own personal doctor, has told me to be on these types of diets, is your voice is going to be in a lot better of a condition when you're on more ketogenic or carnivore or low carb types of diets, because those types of diets, they help put the body in a more alkaline state, and they also too just help more further with that whole lubrication process that I mentioned. And just brutal honesty, I don't mean to offend anyone that's on more vegan or vegetarian lifestyles. I want to be very clear, eating those lifestyles is not going to kill your singing, but it is going to put you in a state to where you're going to have a little more mucus that you're going to be dealing with. Another thing in terms of diet, which I still do take from time to time, but you got to live sometimes, it's okay in moderation, is dairy. Even though dairy falls into a carnivore and ketogenic lifestyle, you do definitely want to keep dairy to a minimum, especially if you have a performance. Like, I still adore dairy. I will never give up dairy. If someone told me, Isaiah, give up dairy or singing, I need a day to think it over to see which one I would choose. Um, but basically, the when you have dairy, that actually increases more the mucus buildup, and it has, more sludge inside of the system, and it makes it harder for it to really operate properly. But also, don't think that this means you can never have a slice of cheese, you can never have milk, you can never have a milkshake. Like, it's totally fine. Like, eat them, as often as you'd like. But just understand, everyone, we have a different baseline with how much it is that we can handle. And just definitely night before performance, zero dairy, especially day of performance, no dairy whatsoever. But, throughout your week, when you're practicing, just, doing basic exercises, basic warm-ups here and there, it's totally fine to have some dairy in your system. Other just general preventative maintenance thing that's going to help your voice is working on your hormonal health. So I could go on a massive, massive soapbox for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours on end. We live in a society that intentionally does almost everything in its power to mess with our hormonal health, to make not just singing, but nearly every area of your life much, much harder. Because if you're a woman and your estrogen levels aren't in check, or if you're a man and your testosterone levels aren't in check, it will literally make almost every area of your life significantly harder than it needs to be. There's a little bit of me being on a soapbox here, but amongst men, for example, the average man has a testosterone level of about like 300. Guess what the average man's testosterone was in the 1950s? Like, guess.
100.
I'm gonna let the ladies guess just because I'm with you.
It was like 800 to 1,000.
All right, no, sure.
No, not even that. Any other guesses?
I got 100.
No, you haven't guessed yet, Phil. What do you think the average testosterone levels were in the 1950s?
It was closer to 1600.
You're pretty close.
No, I can't remember the exact, but I've done this study before.
So my personal doctor, which I highly recommend, find yourself a good solid naturopathic doctor. My personal doctor, who has literally more degrees than a thermometer, when I asked him this question, he told me in the 1950s, the average man had testosterone levels of 3,000. And today, right now, it's 300.
Wow.
Yes. We have, we are literally 1/10 the person that our grandparents were. I don't know exactly what the numbers were for women, but I know it's also way out of whack from what it should have been then. And the reason why your hormonal health greatly affects not just every area of your life, but also your voice, it's because when your hormones are in check, it sends signals to the body to bring out the more masculine or the more feminine traits of both your speaking and also even your singing voice. I've actually noticed there's times where when I'm eating and taking certain supplements to optimize my testosterone, without me even trying, I'll notice my voice, both for singing and speaking, is naturally just a lot more powerful, and also too has a whole lot more stamina. And also too, because I'm so passionate about raising testosterone levels for men specifically. And I'm not a doctor. I haven't studied what it is on women, but I'm certain there's a really good book called Estrogeneration, I believe it is, where it talks about all the different ways societies mess with our hormones and whatnot. But truly, I 100% believe if we fixed all our hormonal issues, divorces would be far less. You'd see less abuse in households. You'd see, because if you really do the research on hormones, it'll blow your mind just how much it affects with your behavior and everything else with how you carry yourself. But now, in terms of some other things you can do to boost your hormonal health, the biggest thing to think of is optimize your hormones. It's actually more about what you remove than what you add. So biggest thing is you really want to keep sugar to a minimum, because sugar will totally whack out both the estrogen and the testosterone levels. I see you have a question, Phil.
Did you ask what year did you ask when we just answered that question?
So it was in the 1950s. What was when the average man had a testosterone of 3,000, and today it's literally barely 300. And the thing is, most doctors, if you don't find a good one, I praise God I have a really good doctor. Most doctors will tell you, oh yeah, if you're a man, if you're at 600, you should be totally happy with that. That's totally in the normal range, or even 800. That's totally in the normal range. Like my personal doctor, knowing everything there is about health, he was able to get his testosterone up to about 1,600, which is literally half. So he's half the man his grandpa was, but just we're in such a toxic environment. It's really rough. And I see Sean asked naturally. Yes, he was able to boost that naturally. Me personally, I was able to get my testosterone levels up to 800, which I still want to get it higher. And naturally, and I see Sean saying, "Sign me up." Well, I mean, I wasn't planning on doing this, but I mean, to be honest, it'd be a massive disservice if I didn't. I mean, I don't make any money off of this recommendation, but if you guys actually do want to work with my personal doctor, because he has, if you live in Charlotte, North Carolina, you can work with him in person, but he has different ways he can work with you virtually. Go to AskDrErnst.com. This dude literally transformed my life. It has literally more degrees than a thermometer, and he will, if you work with this dude, like the test that he takes your body through will literally diagnose not just every hormonal issue, but literally every single health issue you can possibly imagine. And he will give you the most naturalistic, holistic, safe, and actually healthy plan to truly transform every area of your health.
Appreciate that.
Okay, I see Sean saying thanks in the comments here. But in fact, I mean, I'll even say, like, this is a little bit too personal, but it's worth saying since we're on this topic. When I was doing some things to optimize my health, I had a friend of mine that he had, some, but he also too was into singing, but also too he had some issues, with his marriage, and I told him to do some things to improve his testosterone, and we'll say his wife called me on the phone and was very happy. But like, so we got on a massive tangent here, but this will very, very much boost not just your singing health, but every area of your health when you can really focus on things that improve your hormonal levels. A few other things to wrap up before we go to the next slide. Because like I did mention, it's more about what you remove than what you add. So you're trying to remove sugar from your diet as much as you can. You also too want to remove any soy, get that completely out of your system. If y'all love, Asian food and soy sauce, I'm sorry. I would really keep that to a bare minimum. If you're eating soy sauce on the regular, you love, Chinese, I would definitely suggest maybe make that like a once a month type of deal, because it's like soy will wreak havoc on your hormones, absolute havoc. And then the other thing is, like I mentioned earlier, having more lower carb, ketogenic, more carnivorous based types of diets. One of the things that's going to do is when you eat the right diet, you get the healthy fats in your system. And that's going to, once again, boost your hormones, which makes your voice show up more properly and makes you have much greater stamina to do all these other things. So the other thing, too, is when your hormones are good, you actually can make a lot more mistakes and your voice will be fine. And another modern myth in medical society is that all fat is bad for you. The only fats that are bad are man-made fats. And that's where like you have the whole like anti-seed oils movements. Because when people say I'm anti-seed oil, what they really just mean is I'm against all these toxic man-made fats. Any fat made by God, be it like olive oil, avocado oil, butter, believe it or not, I'm dead serious, butter, getting like beef tallow, different things like that, those are actually going to be very good for your hormones, because guess what hormones are made out of? They're made out of entirely fat. But guess what society has told us for the longest time? Have a low-fat diet. And they are literally destroying the very hormones that make you the essence of a man or make you the essence of a woman and also help your singing. So yeah, that was enough of the of the health tangent and soapbox. Hopefully that didn't go too much into realms we didn't need to go into. Oh, I see Sean's, he says, great stuff. I'm glad you liked that little section there. Oh, and I see Phil's giving a heart. So the next thing for preventative maintenance is we want to focus on having what's known as really good vocal cord closure. So for those that haven't seen it yet, this is what your vocal cords look like. This is what the rubber band of your voice that I always talk about here, this is what it is doing every time you talk and every single time it is that you sing. So you guys notice here how the vocal cords, they're closing back and forth with this little diagram. You guys notice that?
Yes.
So let's see if anyone can guess. What do you think would be going on visually inside of the voice here if we sang a note way too harshly and we started to feel some strain?
I would say that the vocal cords probably would not move that way.
Yeah, that's a general explanation. So pretty much, if anytime you do harsh singing where, man, I felt something in my voice there, what you're doing is you're making the flapping back and forth that you see with these muscles, you're doing it way too hard to where it's like they're slapping each other, like just slap back and forth. And basically that's where I said that the next preventative maintenance principle is to have very proper closure to where you visually literally want to think as you're singing that as I hit each note, I'm not going, I'm not trying to close these. I'm letting them gently, you see how they're gently oscillating and gently coming together, where you can still hit a belty note like, hey! I'm going like that. And when it's relaxed, these little guys, they're coming together in a nice, rapid, smooth succession. But if I do it in a harsh way, I go, hey! So you guys hear the difference there and how that sounded? Yeah, so having that in the back of your mind that with everything I sing, and even when I speak too, that I don't want to have hard vocal cord closure. I want smooth, gentle vocal cord closure. That's another thing to work on, that preventative maintenance to make sure that we're not getting into a bad territory. Make sense, everybody?
Yes.
Yeah,
and anyone have any questions on this part so far?
So the more to make sure that you're not doing that slap, I'm trying to visualize it the same way this is, try to make sure that your singing is more, I don't know if I want to say melodic, but just smoother. Does that make sense?
No, not necessarily. Because I, for example, intentionally go, like, say hey, but intentionally try to strain your voice. You say, like, hey, intentionally try to squeeze.
Hey.
See, like you feel the tension there?
Yeah.
So now I want you to go, hey, try to do it as soft as a volume. I'm sorry, just try to do it at the same level of loudness in the volume you just did there, but I want you to visually think that your chords are ever so gently coming together as you're doing, like, hey, hey, hey.
Hey, hey, hey.
See, how'd that feel?
Non-strained.
Exactly.
Relaxed.
And it's because mentally we're doing this instead of this.
So
This.
instead of saying the way I said it, would it be better to say more relax? But even even if you're trying to get it out, make sure you're not straining in any way, or like veins, or just like as relaxed as possible.
Yeah, it's you're being relaxed, but also still authoritative.
Okay.
Because the thing is, if I was like relaxed with it, but I wasn't authoritative, I would just say like, hey, 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 hey. And also, this gets me to a tangent. A lot of is anyone here familiar with what's known as the school of thought of speech level singing? You familiar with that?
No.
So it's another common vocal technique that a lot of coaches are trained on, and I'm certain most coaches, if they saw this right now, they'd want to like strangle me. Is a lot of speech level singing, they make you be so afraid of doing any type of pushing in your voice, that they're like, everything needs to be gentle, to where, like, you know, if you're trying to go like, and the Rockets red glare, you'll just go, Rockets red glare. You see, it was soft, but I wasn't authoritative with it. And it's because it's basically, it's like I would be going with these muscles, because what I'm going here is I'm going quick, but I'm not making them hit each other. This is the vocal cord of me going like, It's almost like, imagine if someone gave you a high five, but they were almost afraid to high five you. If they go, Rockets regular. I'm not being authoritative with it, but I am being soft. But versus soft but authoritative, Rockets regular. See, do you guys like see and understand the difference there? Okay, awesome.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so to continue things here. So now, the next section of the training here is us talking about what to do once your voice feels bad, when you've either oversang your voice or you've gotten into, you know, some bad habits health-wise, kind of like I did with staying up till 3, 4 in the morning for nearly 10 days straight. And you get sick. This is what you do to get your voice.
If you sing that note,
The what? What'd you say, Lynette?
what if you do, like, what if you're singing and you sing a bad note and you do like a strain note? You know how you're singing and you sing a bad strain note? You know how sometimes if you're singing in a choir and then they say, sing these notes, and they tell you to sing a note and it's not the right note for you, and then you sing it and it's wrong for you.
Yeah. So basically, like what you're doing in that instance is kind of what I was referring to, is like, if it's just a bad note or two where you feel some tension or some strain, you take, you know, wait for a quick 30-second instrumental break in the song, pull the mic from you, and start doing the soft ang, vuv, or hang or hum sounds. Make sense?
Yes.
Okay, great. Glad we're on the same page here. But yeah, but now here's what you do. We've covered the preventative care. Here's what you do to actually treat the acute issues when they actually do hit you. So the first step, do 2x of everything I just mentioned. Double down on the water. Double down on the warm liquids. Double down on optimizing your hormones. Double down on eating right. Like, just do 2x of absolutely everything it is that I had mentioned. The next thing is you want to put your focus on sliding through the trouble areas in your voice. So basically what you're going to do is, we can also do this on angs, vuv, hangs, and hums. We'll start out here with just like a basic hum. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find the treble note where I can feel the mucus in my voice. And like, you're going to be able to feel it. So basically you'll kind of slide up a little bit. You're like, okay, you hear that there? That's the sound of all the mucus that's blocking me. And what we're now going to do is we're literally going to do a slide back and forth through that area we feel in our voice. So I'm going to go. And the thing is, you'll notice I'm now coughing. That's not a coincidence that I just did the exercise and now I'm coughing. It's my body is releasing the mucus that it just had. And now I'm making sure that I spit out that mucus. Because now, I notice if I go through those exact same notes, it's going to be a little bit smoother. So like, watch and listen as I demonstrate. I go, see, you guys notice it was smoother this time. So who noticed that?
I noticed it.
Yeah, I see Anita's raised her hand. She says she notices too. Sean says he notices it. Which I'm kind of glad that I got sick, because like there's really no better way for me to explain this. Because like when I went to bed last night, I was thinking, I hope I don't wake up feeling better tomorrow. Which I don't think I've ever thought that thought ever in my life once. Um, but hopefully after today I'll feel 100% better. Um, and basically, when you're sick, you can do the humming, the ang, or the vuv sounds at full volume. So I could go ang. There goes the cough, and there's some more mucus. And see, I'll do it again, like, see, it's already smoother. So yeah, what I was saying is, so you can do that if it's just you're sick, but you didn't lose your voice. You can do that at full volume. Now, if you lost your voice completely, you're like, it's totally dead and shot. You're going to do the same thing, but you do it as soft as you can on a slide. And to be very clear, with everything else I've taught you, when you're doing regular exercises, you do it through your golden spot range. With this, you just feel in your body where the mucus comes up, and you just iron that out, just going back and forth over that area. Okay? Yeah, I see you have a question, Phil.
Excuse me. Sometimes I gotta be careful and swallow too fast. So, but when you're trying to do it, like for instance, when you say, you hear every time I go up, it's like it stifles. It's like it goes lower. I'm supposed to be like you're supposed to hear it, and it's like my voice almost like closes. I don't understand that. Why does that happen?
That's the layer of mucus blocking you. That's all that is. Because and obviously you're not sick. For you, it was a bit more crackliness versus me, because I'm sick. It'll go like. Do you hear just how much effort it takes for me to get up there? It's like I normally can get up there flawlessly, but because I'm sick and there's all the mucus that's covering it,
So that's
it's making
mucus.
it. Yep, exactly.
That's like
Fact.
probably in singing. That's my main, like literally main problem that I have when I hit, like when I try to do stuff and it just dead. It'll just like go dead right in that one point, or crackles, or do something. It's like it.
Yep, exactly. And to be honest, if you really want to like simplify everything I'm teaching you, technically the only thing that we're doing during all the lessons, all the trainings, all the classes is we're just teaching you different ways to release all this mucus that's inside of your voice. Working through your golden spot, that releases mucus. Working on your resonance anchors, that releases mucus. Some of the things we even do at breath support, that's helping to release mucus. And really, if you've done any vocal training in the past and any exercise in the past, and you don't release mucus when you sing, you got the wrong coach, you're doing the wrong training. And now, obviously, because I'm sick, I have a much greater degree of mucus to release. But when you're in better and proper shape, your voice is still always going to release some mucus, because all the notes you don't want to hit, they're being blocked by a layer of mucus that's still inside of your system. There's another cough. Like I said, it's very, very important that you spit it out. Extremely important, because if you swallow it, you're literally just repeating the same stuff.
So, well, you're probably putting a cart before the horse, but you're probably going to give, well, okay, because I'm trying to figure out, but you're already helping me figure out how to release this music, how to get it out of my throat, how to, just from everything you've already said, but I'm just like, yeah.
Okay, so I'll demonstrate a few others here with like the angs, the vuvs, and the hangs. So, for example, if I want to do like a vuv sound, we can go okay, I can actually go a little bit higher this time because I cleared out the lower parts of my range of mucus. So now I'll do my little vuv here on a See, you guys heard, I was able to go a little bit higher, but the mucus was still, it was blocking me at the higher levels, but it wasn't blocking me as much to the lower levels because I already cleared some of it out. So let me now try to go after that again. Let's see how much smoother it sounds. All right. Who here noticed that that was a little smoother?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. Good.
Okay, awesome. And once again, I want to emphasize, this is for sick, if you've lost your voice and it's totally like, you talk like this, you do the same thing, but just at an extremely, extremely soft volume. And you will still get some mucus coming out, but it's not going to be as much. The main thing you're looking for when you lose your voice is you want to feel almost a sense of like relaxation, like, oh man, I just massaged my muscles. And also with everything, once again, you do this till you are totally out of air. Okay? Now let me try doing this on a hang here. We'll do a hang. Okay, see, I found the problem area. It got even higher because once again, we removed the lower stuff. So now let's go back to that area. Ooh. Oh man. Okay. So now we go at it again. Ooh. Ooh. Man. Okay. So yeah, that covers the regarding, doing the sliding through and finding out where those problem areas are. Any questions before I move on to the next section of the presentation?
Yeah, I do. I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
So myself, I have sinus issues all year, and just recently I experienced didn't really know there was buildup behind my ears until one morning I woke up and I couldn't hear, and I was just assuming because I have little ear lobes or ear canals, the wax build up. But even
Mm-hmm.
after I got my ears washed out, still, and she was like, "Well, you probably have mucus. You have a mucus buildup back there." Even though I hadn't been blowing my nose or anything. Now, let me just say this: after our lesson or during our lesson, you see, I started with the tissues.
Mm-hmm.
So now here it's coming out now. So I guess my question is going to be: I should probably be just practicing these healthy hums and anyway
Yeah,
because
yeah.
for
You
me it's
definitely want to
always
practice
there.
that. Yeah, but
Hmm.
practice the humming consistently. Be drinking plenty and plenty of water. Also, book yourself an appointment with Dr. Aaron Ernst. That'll help a lot too, long term with the sinus issues. Um, and by the way, for like I said, I don't make any money. Right, I preferring or recommending him because like if you live out of state, one of the things he can do for you is he'll do like virtual consultations, and then he has like some tests that he can help you take that they'll diagnose not just sinus issues, but literally you will, I'm not kidding, you will know every single issue that is wrong with your health. Like he does the types of tests that like test for things most doctors completely neglect. And then what he'll do is like if you're out of state, he can then refer you over to one of like his vetted like network doctors that can then give you like a really solid holistic custom care plan. Um, but yeah, that's the high recommendation. And then also regarding the sinus issues, that actually brings me into the next thing we have here in the presentation, which is so the next thing is us massaging the larynx. And then after that, I'm going to show you guys how to do a lymphatic massage. So, so regarding massaging the larynx, what we're going to do here is basically you're just going to touch your Adam's apple and you're going to yawn. So everyone yawn while touching the Adam's apple. And then you're just going to massage this down. Like, oh, just massage it down. And basically just push the Adam's apple as low as you can. Oh, yeah. And basically, the reason why this works is another thing that happens is when you're having that hard closure way too much is what it's also doing is it's raising the Adam's apple and it's pushing it a little bit too far up, and us yawning and massaging this down, it's going to help with reducing all that other good stuff. The other thing too that I now want to get into is us doing a lymphatic massage here. So this is a nifty difty little massage routine I learned where this is actually going to help to loosen up the blood vessels here in your system so that you'll actually start to release all those different layers of mucus. So lymphatic massage, like the first step is you're going to do, basically you're going to make like I think this is like the live well and prosper sign from Star Trek. So you're going to make like this little shape with your hands, and you're going to squeeze that little V shape in between your ears like this, got on the earlobes, like so. So yeah, everybody do it along here with me. And then what we're going to do here is you're basically going to move up and down with the same level of pressure as if you were pushing like a quarter across a table. And you see how like I'm moving this back and forth. We're going to keep doing this. And right now I'm coughing again because it's actually releasing even more mucus from the system. And you're going to do this for probably ideally about probably like 40 to 50 repetitions of this motion. Up and down, both sides of the ears like this. And it's going to drain all that fluid, loosen up the blood vessels, and make things come up. Oh, I see Sean just said in the comments, wow, that actually made mucus come up for him. Yeah, because mucus, it is the arch enemy. And I mean, I've found almost no videos online from vocal coaches where they talk about getting rid of your mucus when it's literally one of the biggest things in terms of you keeping your voice healthy and singing successfully. So the other step in this lymphatic massage is we are then going to basically take our hands kind of like in this little almost like a dove formation, and we have like our other fingers here. And what we're now going to do is we're basically going to squeeze and pull this down with that same pressure as if you were pushing a quarter across a table. Like, yep, I'm gonna get more mucus coming up. And like I said, spit out the mucus. Do not swallow it. If you swallow the mucus, you're literally wasting your time and just going back to where you started. Okay, so that little lymphatic drainage there. Ooh.
I wish I'd have known this last week.
What happened last week?
My ears.
Oh, yes, yeah, the ear thing you were mentioning. Oh, I thought you meant like something different in addition to that. Yeah, yes. Helps out so much. And then the final step in this lymphatic drainage massage is and it's hard to tell without me looking. Like you guys can see my neck, right?
Yes.
Okay, the final thing is you're going to take your hands like this and you're going to move them up and down your neck like so. And also as well too, as you're moving it, you should even have like the sides of your hands kind of gently rubbing up against your jawline as well. Like that. You know, do about 40 to 50 pumps of that as well. And doing that, it's going to really clear up a lot of stuff in your voice. And we can even demonstrate, like, I now can go at least from, I still had a little bit of cracking and breaking, but I'm a lot better, which like before I could even go, I was stopping it like, I can at least now get up to, And the other thing doing too is like the area where I still notice like a oh right here where I notice a crack. You know, even after you've done these, you might go back again and do notice where you feel a little skip and go another ang, vuv, hanger, hum like a okay, like so. All right, so yeah, that pretty much covers things for today's training regarding like the core content on, you know, keeping your voice healthy and repairing it once your voice does get in bad condition. So what questions do you guys have?
I don't have a question. I think I've been asking mine through the way.
But yeah, I appreciate all the questions you were asking though, Anita.
So
You know what? Something just came to mind. So I know in our session when we were working, you know that when I was singing, you hear some of those cracks. You think that's
Mm-hmm.
probably the mucus? That's the mucus, isn't it?
Yes,
Hmm.
it's the mucus, and it's also a little bit of combination of a lack of dexterity. But the
Okay.
dexterity it's caused, it's really they're one and the same. But pretty much like back to how I always say like this is a rubber band.
Hmm.
Imagine I had just a layer of goo surrounding the rubber band. How much harder do you think it is to stretch this if there's a layer of goo surrounding it?
It's harder to stretch.
Very, very harder.
Hmm.
But now, even if there wasn't a layer of goo, you need to get used to the rubber band moving, and for some people that can still cause the crack. But it's, I mean, like there's no one that doesn't have some degree of mucus blocking their voice to some extent, and
Hmm.
it's just it's really it's like I said, it's both of these, both the stretching of the rubber band, but also the layer of mucus. But it's like both are always going to be there. Does that make sense?
Okay.
But obviously, the more you practice this, it's going to be a lesser and lesser extent of mucus you have. And you're going to find very consistently you can do this smoothly, like 85 to 90% of the time with no cracks.
Yep. Okay. Well, thank you for that.
Okay, what other questions you guys have?
so a great what like so far from all we learned, would you say the greatest thing to help get all this stuff up, other than like the massaging and stuff like that, would be like the whole enchilada, or just doing it throughout the day? The do you need to do
Um,
that until you run out of breath, or just
yeah, so basically, when you're sick or your voice is too strained, you want to do the things I covered here. But now, if you get your voice, and this is more so when you're sick, and you can do it a little bit too when you're overstraining and you've lost your voice, but you can then start incorporating the whole enchilada framework that we've gone over, which, you know, for the newbies, like it's something we cover down the road in other trainings. But basically, I'm now at the point where how you've seen me do this live, I could start to incorporate a few whole enchiladas here and there, and it'll help out a decent amount. But because I'm still sick, I need to do more of incorporating the other things we had because that's gonna cover more of the baseline. Because think of because pretty much every exercise that I teach you simultaneously does two things. It increases the flexibility of this rubber band, and like I said earlier as well, it removes the mucus. When we're doing the recovery stuff, it's primarily focused on the mucus release. It's like 80% mucus release, 20% of it is it's increasing the flexibility of these muscles.
mm-hmm.
Now, standard vocal training, it's more like a 50-50. Half of it's increasing the flexibility and half is removing the mucus. And that's what the whole enchilada is doing. It's more of that 50-50. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Yep.
Hmm. So since I'm not sick and I'm still having the majority of my main problem with my, singing is those cracks when you're trying to go up. It's like I never usually have them when I'm going down in pitch. but just always up. And it don't even have to be high. Like when I'm even practicing a lot of my things where I'm going to a different octave, like from F3 to F5, or
Mm-hmm.
excuse me, F3 to F4, you know, I'll have a lot of problems even when I'm on F4, my regular golden spot, and then like I'll break through it somehow. Like I said, maybe throughout the day if after my voice gets, but like warmed up or something, or like just do different exercises. But like the main thing I do now to kind of clear up and stop, well, is like I'll just do like I told you when I was in the hospital when they were just showing me this way before I joined the class. It just I was like, see. So just going back and forth, and then that helps my breathing tremendously.
Mm-hmm.
But is that actually also helping clear up stuff in my vocal where it'll stop cracking?
Yep. Well, like I said, every exercise I teach you focuses on both simultaneously. But there's some exercises that they just do a little bit more to one end of the spectrum here. But to answer your question about how you said you notice you'll crack on the way up, but you won't on the way down. If you
Mm,
consistently notice I crack when I go up, but I don't when I go down, that's more of a mental, your body is still learning more of the flexibility with the exercise rather than a mucus issue.
mm, okay. In doing what would exactly diagnose would be like what would help that the most clear that part up? Just doing like you said the whole enchilada.
Yeah, doing more whole enchilada, but
Okay.
also to bringing it to such a deep level of really making yourself even more out of breath, going even longer, and also to going deeper with your squat. And obviously, because I know you're in a wheelchair, Phil. For you, you can do the bending down to really help to kind of push you harder. And by the way, for those that haven't met Phil, like he is just an absolute animal. Like the amount of dedication I've seen you put towards this process, despite the ableness of your body, is just it's so inspiring, man.
Mm.
Great.
Okay, I guess yeah. If there's no other questions, I guess that wraps things up for today's training, and I will see all y'all next week.
Okay, bye.
All right, bye.
Have a good week. Stay safe out there.
Bye for now. Blessings.